Are you thinking about moving to Kelowna but not sure if it's the right place for you? Then stick around, because in this video, I'm going to go over 5 critical things that you need to know before deciding if Kelowna is going to be a good fit for you. So if you're interested in learning what's really going on here in Kelowna, then stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this. Hey, it's Kevin Snaychuk. I'm your Kelowna Realtor, where I was born and raised. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel, where I put out content like this to help you guys make the best decisions so you can set yourselves up for success here in Kelowna. So make sure you subscribe, hit that bell, and without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first thing you need to be aware of when considering a move to Kelowna is the fact that you need to be financially prepared to live here. Kelowna is extremely expensive. After all, we're in BC, the most expensive province in Canada, and Kelowna is one of the most expensive cities in BC, right up there with Vancouver and Victoria. So let's talk about the average home prices. We've got the single family homes coming in around 1.1 million on average, townhomes 750,000, and condos 550K. So don't worry too much about these averages, because you can definitely get into homes, condos, and townhomes for quite a bit cheaper than these numbers. I'm just trying to give you guys an idea of why and how Kelowna is so expensive. So let's talk about the property transfer tax. So this is a tax that we have to pay here in Kelowna and all of BC on the purchase of residential property. Unless you're buying brand new, which is a different conversation, but you will be subject to GST if you're buying brand new. But let's assume you're buying a home that has already been lived in. So this is when you're gonna have to pay that property transfer tax, which is calculated as 1% on the first 200K, 2% on the remainder up to $2 million, and 3% on the remainder greater than $2 million. So this can add up really, really quickly. So this is something I want you guys to be aware of when you're budgeting for homes and when you're browsing around for homes here in the Kelowna area. Another thing that makes Kelowna so expensive, and well, BC, is we have to pay provincial tax as well as government tax on everything else we buy. So the provincial tax is 7% plus the 5% government tax, so 12% on everything else we buy. So that makes things more expensive. Gas is more expensive. Groceries are more expensive. Rent is more expensive due to the high housing prices and high mortgage costs. With all that being said though, I believe Kelowna is a great place to park your money from an investment perspective due to the lack of inventory, due to how difficult it is to build here, and due to all the amazing benefits there are to living in Kelowna, and the fact that people are trying to move here from all over the world and country, and it is the #1 fastest growing city in the country. So what a great segue into my next point. Number 2, it is more difficult to build homes in Kelowna. Now the reason for this is we don't have a lot of flat land. So unlike the prairie provinces where they can literally just plow out a field and build a bunch of square boxes in a square in a bunch of rows, it doesn't work here. Everything needs to be built into the side of a mountain. So this requires blasting rock, removing mass amounts of rock and dirt and huge pine trees. So this is going to take a lot more time, and it's going to be a lot more expensive, thus resulting in higher cost, more valuable building lots. So the benefit of this is we've got better views. The views are amazing from these lots. Picture your home perched up into the side of a mountain, overlooking the lake and mountains and skyline and sunset. It is absolutely gorgeous. Another downside to this is oftentimes the lots are smaller. You're probably not gonna have a very big yard unless you want to pay huge bucks. And if you're planning on building a custom home here in Kelowna, expect it to take longer due to these challenges. So number 3 most important thing you need to be aware of is we only have one bridge to get across Okanagan Lake, which separates Kelowna and West Kelowna. Now there's major perks and downsides to either which city you choose to live on. I live in West Kelowna. It works great for me and my schedule, but if you're working a 9-to-5 job and your work is in Kelowna, you might want to consider living in Kelowna so you can avoid that bridge traffic during those rush hour times. So this is extremely important to choose your side wisely and be aware of all the perks and downsides to either side. Like West Kelowna may have better bang for your buck. It may be a little bit quieter. Kelowna, you've got more action going on. It's a little bit more expensive. There's more restaurants and shopping, so maybe that's better for you. Stay tuned for another video on this where I break down the perks and benefits of Kelowna and West Kelowna. And if you're looking for some guidance on which side is going to be best for you, definitely reach out to me, guys. Like I said, I was born and raised here. I understand the demographic very well, and I want to make sure you're set up for success. So reach out with questions on that. Hey guys, if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're thinking about making a move in Kelowna, make sure you check out my website, KelownaHomeListings.ca, where we have all the newest listings and we update the website every 5 minutes so you can keep your finger on the pulse and you'll never miss a thing. Now let's get back to the video. Number 4, we have 4 very distinct seasons here in Kelowna. So unlike Vancouver, which has more blended seasons per se, when it's summer in Kelowna, you're definitely gonna know it. It's gonna be extremely hot. You're gonna wanna make sure you're wearing sunscreen often, drinking lots of water, wearing hats. Try to do your activities in the early parts of the day or in the morning, especially things like walking your dog, because in the afternoon it's gonna be way too hot for them. If you don't like really hot weather, then maybe Kelowna might not be the best place for you. However, if you're a sun seeker, you will probably love it here. Winters, on the other hand, are generally quite mild, but it can get pretty bad. It can get super snowy and super cold, and it's a humid cold. So -15 feels like -30. When it's a humid cold, it feels a lot colder. So you'll need to have snow boots, you'll need to have winter tires on your car. If you are living in a neighborhood which is higher up, which will be many of the neighborhoods here in the Kelowna area, expect to have more snow. You're gonna have to shovel and plow more. So if that's gonna be an issue for you, you're gonna wanna choose a home that's lower down, closer to the lake level. And number 5 thing you need to be aware of before moving to Kelowna is if you struggle from seasonal allergies, they will be worse in Kelowna, because I'm telling you, it is absolutely brutal here. Believe me, I am allergic to pollen, and in the springtime, it drives me insane. I find it very difficult to breathe, and honestly, it affects the quality of life. And I don't want this to happen to you, so make sure you have allergy medication on hand. Keep your windows and doors closed in the home, and if you're not allergic to pollen, don't worry, because we've got lots of grass molds and dust as well. So definitely keep this in mind when you're considering moving here. Like I said, if you are sensitive to this, it can affect your quality of life. Okay guys, those are my 5 critical things that I think you absolutely need to know before deciding if Kelowna is the right place for you. So if you guys have anything you can add to the list that you think might help people, please drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're thinking about making a move in Kelowna, reach out to me. I want to be a resource for you, and I want to help you make those critical decisions so we can set you up for success here in Kelowna. And if you want to browse property on the #1 website here in Kelowna, make sure you check out KelownaHomeListings.ca, where we update the website every 5 minutes so you'll never miss a new listing. Take care everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.